My name is Chris and Fanzon. You are listening to the Hidden Doors podcast. Upcoming is my article review for the article How to Make Progress on Your Long-Term Career Goals by Dory Clark. It's a Harvard Business Review article. So how do we make some long-term progress? We'll see in a little bit. If you um, like what you hear, and remember, give me a thumbs up on this video. Give me the damn thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on more videos and podcasts coming down like this. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we have the article How to Make Progress on Your Long-Term Career Goals by Dory Clark. Dory Clark, first of all, is a marketing strategist and keynote speaker. She teaches at Duke University's Fuqua. I know I'm saying that wrong. Someone who ever went to Duke, you're going to make fun of me. So Duke University's Fuqua School of Business, and has been named one of the top 50 business thinkers in the world by Thinkers 50. She has a book out called The Long Game, How to Be a Long-Term Thinker in a Short-Term World. All right, Dory, you got a lot of prestige on your name, so let's see what you got to say. So she breaks down thinking about your long-term career goal thinking into four different types of questions you can ask yourself, or sections here. They are: start by figuring out what you don't want. That's one. Two, pick one direction as your provisional hypothesis for where you want your career to go. Three, double down on foundational skills and knowledge that will make you better. And four, take stock of emotional and mental energy. Those are the four things. So number one, decide what you don't want. I've done these next 2 points will be about this, but I've done a book review on, I forget what the book is called. It's something about choice. I think it's something choice, but yeah, we have so many choices in this world, almost too many, and that leads to like you not being able to make the right decision. And even if you do make the decision, you overthought it, and you're like, oh, well, I should have went with this option because I had 5 really good options. In the beginning, Dory wants you to decide first what you don't want. It's a little easier in the beginning. First, say, what the hell do I not want? And that might mean, for instance, you definitely know you never want to work for a micromanaging boss again, or you're done with your current industry, or you never want to work hands-on again and you want to take something like an advisory role, things like that, things where where you don't want. Those are easy things to start with. um, 2, develop provisional hypothesis. So here is, okay, you've narrowed out what you don't want. I don't want these damn things. And now you might have a handful. In the article example, there was someone that she knew who had half a dozen possible careers, and that's still a lot. Think about exploring half a dozen in detail and trying to understand whether that's where you want to take your career. Um, so this person had a way of gathering data points by talking to people, by reading industry articles and analyzing the data and figuring out, based on just that simple research that she did, what can she focus on out of those half a dozen of those, like 6 career potentials. What are the what should be the one, maybe 2 areas of focus based on some initial research that you did? And so, she one instance was, weekend hours were required in a profession that she was looking into. So that was a non-starter for her. That was one way to weed out. And she eventually got to one provisional career that she could focus on. Um, 3 is make progress on the basics. This is stuff that I talk about a lot. Wrote about it in my book, but um, I talked about it with a different lens. My lens was there are core skill sets to learn and to improve upon in yourself that are going to be translatable almost in anything you do. Those things are like, can you put together a presentation and maybe make a presentation or public speak? Those things are going to be important regardless of where you go. You can master the hard skills of a job, but if you can't communicate that effectively to your team, to a client, to a group of peers, um, it's hard to move up. It's hard to get promoted, and because those softer skills are things that are so crucial. Um, Communicating effectively, I think that's part of public speaking and presenting, but even just maybe not presenting, but maybe you're just communicating something with somebody. It's a topic that gets, I don't think, not enough attention. I feel like when I was in college, I was like, everyone must just be so perfect and communicate so well in the real world and in a professional environment. I don't know why I thought that, but the same stuff and crap that you have to deal with, basically from school to college to work, is the same stuff from school you'll experience at work. People have a hard time communicating. And that can just mean many things. That could mean, people are saying the same thing, but they mean different things. And that ends up meaning everyone thinks they're in alignment in a meeting. And then when they all go, they all actually are not in alignment. And they're all doing different things. And the work doesn't come together as they thought. Or people just have a hard time communicating with each other in a nice way. There's very passive aggressive environments in this damn world, and to be a good communicator, how can you address that? How can you address a difficult conversation? How can you address a difficult conversation effectively? That's something that's translatable to, doesn't matter where the hell you work. uh, Other things that I think are really important, that I like to focus on, is statistics. I like basic understanding of math and statistics because in this day of age, data is pl- plenty data. But the issue is really not how much data you have anymore to make the right decision. It's what you do with that data, the quality of the data, the quality of the decisions on that data. I don't care really who you are, what you work for, what company, what career. Understanding basic statistics and understanding how to analyze data is going to be important in, I think, in any career. I can't imagine how that can help. So those are few areas. Also, I like part of like communicating, I think, is also being able to sell, whether that's selling an actual product or selling yourself or being confident enough in yourself to sell something that you're doing. It could be a project at work you're trying to sell to your client or your boss or your team. Being able to advocate for yourself and be confident and sell yourself. These are all things that are basic stuff that it doesn't matter what career you pick. These are the things that if you focus on will be translatable. So in the third part where Dory says, make progress on the basics, this is what she's essentially talking about. So focus on the things that are going to be your core strengths regardless of where you go. And this way, let's say you spend hours and hours and hours and hours learning one particular thing that may not even take you. It might be so specific, like coding. You might code and then you might realize that, coding's not for me, but you spend all that time doing it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try it and do it, but also build your core, build the basics, because that will help you anywhere you go in your future. Okay, and then four is take stock of your emotional and mental energy. Whew, this last 2 years has been exactly that, emotionally and mentally draining. With everything that's been happening, I can see how it's been draining for people. And so, you know, before you take a big leap, before you take a big leap from where you are now to where you're going. Dory mentions that maybe take some stock of how you feel right now. If it's been 2 years of constant, constant stress and being overworked, and now things have finally settled down where you're like, okay, I feel a tiny bit normal. Maybe it's time to just like you can. That's okay to allow that period of relaxation for a little bit, if it makes you feel better. Versus, do you have the energy to take on a completely new career or role at the moment, or are you mentally drained? It's okay to take a little time to yourself, whether that's something more formal like a sabbatical, or simply just putting a little bit of a pause on superly high ambitious goals for a little bit. Or that might mean the exact opposite. You might have, for some reason, these 2 years, you might have just been bored out of your damn mind. And you might have said, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I'm losing my damn freaking mind. And at that point, your energy, you're ready to go. You go take that ambitious role. You are ready to go. But it just depends. Take stock of where you are. And I think people naturally already probably do that, when you're about to take a new role, you're probably if you're drained, maybe it's something you want to put pause on, but it's just something to think about as you're thinking about long-term career planning. Okay, those are the 4 things. Decide what you don't want. Develop provisional hypothesis, narrow down your focus. Make progress on the basics, and take stock of your emotional and mental energy. Those are the 4 things to focus on for long-term career planning, according to Dory Clark. But remember, Dory Clark is pretty prestigious. So congrats to Dory Clark for kicking butt in her life. Okay. Those are the 4 things. If you like what you heard, give me a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on more videos and podcasts like this. That was pretty quick. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you next time.